right. Hello, hello, all of you wonderful, wonderful people. It is your boy Rylionn, and joining me today is the homie, the god, Wookie monster himself. Wookie, how are you feeling today, my friend?
Pretty good. How are you this evening?
Doing well, doing well. Can't
Good.
complain. We are in week number five, or I'm sorry, round five of our
Yeah.
VCL out of six so far before playoffs. I mean, time is flying by. We've seen a lot of really good games. How are you feeling so far about just like the overall, like where we are so far in the VCL?
I mean, we're almost there, right? Almost
We're
at
almost.
playoffs already. That the whole 5 weeks flew by really fast, and I mean, there's the standings are looking very kind of similar for all teams except for one, and that's the top team, obviously.
Yes,
But
sir.
yeah, it's gonna be exciting, and this is a match between Chrono and Ermines. And
Yes.
Chrono, as you know, we said on stream yesterday that they were in the middle, but we made an oopsie. And if you look at the standings now, Chrono is in second place because they did 2-0. I believe it was Calm Legends or
Yes.
TCR last week. So now it's kind of Ermine's if they can get in the top four. They are in top four right now, the fourth place, but
Right.
this would definitely probably lock them in. I mean, there's only one other week left,
Hmm.
and it's down to the wire here. So they've already started to draft. Ermines is taking red side. Chrono is taking blue side. I want to get your thoughts on this matchup because like we've seen Chrono kind of be near the middle for the most part during the weeks that we've seen them. But Ermines have been all over. They've been in second place. They were like fourth, I think, or fifth. Now they're back to fourth again. So who do you think is really gearing up? I think that, in my opinion, I think Ermines is trying to win this one really hard right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Ermines is definitely going for the throat. They've definitely done their research. They're looking at past games as well. We saw Esteban with Kog'Maw. He played two games
Yeah.
of Kog'Maw in a row and won them both. That's very, very. You don't see that very often, especially with a Lulu ban. I don't remember if he actually got the Lulu one of the games, but the other game it was not a Lulu pick with him, and he still just absolutely destroyed everything. And so far, we saw both teams now have chosen their ADCs. We have the Ezreal and the Kai'Sa matchup, so that's interesting. Haven't seen a lot of Kai'Sa gameplay. I just started getting back into her literally yesterday.
Yeah.
Ezreal, we've always seen him consistent. He's always really good right as soon as he gets, the Manamura, and then
Mm.
in combination with what's it called? It's right on the tip of my tongue. Divine Sunder.
Uh,
Thank you.
Divine Sunder. Yeah.
And that combo is just absolutely ridiculous. He could just poke for days, infinite mana, great damage. But the important picks right now, like Lux getting banned out, so we've seen a lot of her gameplay, VCL and PCL over the past like
Yep.
2 weeks consistently. So very important pick. Victor as well. I mean, you know him very, very
Oh yeah.
well, so you could definitely see him being picked out. But look at that Renekton.
Yeah.
When is the last time we've seen a Renekton gameplay? This is going to be interesting.
Uh,
Reminds us really pulling
yeah.
out the guns today.
Yeah. And I mean, this is kind of like you can kind of see where they're going with this comp already.
Oh
They
yeah,
they kind of showed their early hand saying like we wanted something like a dive comp. Meanwhile, Chrono on
absolutely.
the other side, they were I mean they pretty much want to play poke and scale to late game. That's why the Lux was banned. That's why the Kog'Maw was banned.
Hmm.
Away, the heavy scalers and picking Ezreal and Trundle definitely definitely going to at least be somewhat of a good start for them. And the Oriana pickup, I think that pairs well with the Trundle, so that's kind of spicy already. It's interesting that Ermines is hovering more tanks, seeing that the Trundle is picked, but that's okay. I think they want to solidify what they're doing, right? They want to. I think they have the game plan already. Whatever they pick here, it looks like it's gonna be a jungler. It is gonna be Shyvana actually.
Shyvana, okay.
That's an interesting. I haven't seen a Shyvana in a while, ever since like WG played it, and I mean
Yep.
that yeah they lost.
Yeah,
But
AP
yeah,
Shyvana definitely, but I like the utility. Like this is that, like you said, heavy dive comp. Like Shyvana's an all-in champion. Same thing with Renekton. That's gonna set Kai'Sa up to go ahead and dash in onto the backline when Renekton gets a stun out. and they have enough bursty damage to get rid of the squishy characters like Orianna and Ezreal there, but I just really like the disruption coming in from the side of Chrono. They have the Shockwave now from Orianna, they have the Pillar from Trundle, you know, Arcane Shift from Ezreal, so they have a lot of disengage, they have a lot of disruption to stop
Right.
a lot of this engage. So let's just see how they play it out. But Seraphine and Camille bans coming out now in round number 2. And, you know, as we haven't seen the top lanes come in, or I'm sorry, not the top lane, the support, you know, for either character here, but we've seen a lot of what, like Janna gameplay. I would expect to see that probably coming in from Chrono once again to get that disruption. But, like, who would you say would pair with Ezra really well in this situation?
Ezreal, I mean, I was gonna say Yumi, but that just got banned
Yep.
right out. Ezreal
Never.
Yumi is a classic combo. You know, just anything to get Ezreal to his item power spikes. Same with Kai'Sa, honestly. Enchanters work really well with Kai'Sa and heavy engage. I mean, it already seems like they want to do a heavy dive comp, so I wouldn't be surprised if I saw like a Leona or you know
A Rel.
a Nautilus, a Rel, like anything like that. But enchanters work well here too, especially because enchanters are just pretty strong right now. Lulu, definitely a good champion. You know, pulling out the polymorph and all that. It's for what they want to do. It seems like they already have their big beefy boys. They could add another one if they wanted to, and then solidify it with like a mid lane mage. But
There
looks
it
like it
is.
is going to be the Nautilus. So I like that pairing a lot. I think they have a really strong front line for this Kai'Sa and
Mm-hmm.
whoever else they pick up in the mid lane. As far as Chrono goes, I mean, we really don't know what kind of comp they're going for here. You know, just from the champions they've chosen, it's a little bit of a mix. So we'll have to see what they pick here because it could really be anything. They definitely want to try to counteract the top lane Renekton. There's the Urgot.
Forgot.
Uh,
Okay.
that's more of a skill matchup in my opinion. I think it really depends how comfortable these players are on their champions to see who wins out on the top side. So that's gonna kind of be a meatball matchup up there, and Leona
Leona.
being
Okay.
hovered. This is a really strong front line for the side of Chrono too. So can't say I'm opposed. Enchanters work really well, I think, with their comp, but they're gonna go ahead and lock in the Leona.
Lock that in. Yeah.
They were like, if you got dive, we're gonna peel.
Oh
We're gonna
yeah.
peel as much as possible with the Orianna and the Leona
And
and Kale.
Kale. Okay.
I don't know if that's a Kale mid lane or if it's a Renekton mid lane. But we'll
I would
see.
say it's probably going to be a Kale mid with
It's
Renekton top. That's what I
probably
would
is.
guess here. But
But I've
you
seen
know,
some crazy things. Okay, I've seen some insane melee mid matchups that are like, how do I what do I do? Renekton, I can't say I haven't seen him in mid lane before, so it's not the optimal lane for him. Obviously, I think you want the longer lane for him to be aggressive in a melee versus melee matchup. But hey, who's
right.
to say? So we'll have to see during this draft in the client.
Well, Urgot's
See
not a
what
melee though.
happens.
He's a ranged matchup.
Well, that's
Technically,
true.
if he were to go, but it's a very short range. So essentially,
Yeah.
you know, melee at that point. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I like Ermine's comp, but overall, I do like Chrono a little bit more just for these team fights. Like, it's gonna be very difficult for them to actually get to the back to capitalize. Like, you're not gonna be able to CC the Ezreal. You're not gonna be able to CC the Orianna really. So Kai'Sa's not gonna be able to do her, you know, execution and get onto the back line. And even if she does, you know, like I said, Arcane Shift from the Ezreal. Leona's right there. You know, all she has to do is drop a Solar Flare. She doesn't have to go flying in with her Zenith Blade. You know what I mean? But it really depends on how they play it. But overall, I'm going to go with Chrono, like 60-40 for game number 1
Okay.
here. Not saying that Ermines can take it because they have some really powerful picks. And Kale, you know, after level 16 is a completely different story. That, like, these tanks will be shredded to nothing. Leona's going to dive in and get blown up immediately between a Kai'Sa Kale at level 16 and later. But that's if we can even get to that point. So,
That's true.
what about you?
Okay. Well, I mean, predictions are up. I'm gonna take a stab and say I think Ermines have the comp. I'm not so sure about the Kai'Sa, honestly. I mean, like we've said, we haven't really seen her a lot, and it's very difficult to, you know, kind of compare her to like the top ADCs like Jinx, you know, Aphelios, things like that. But I do think they have the beefy front line. They have the damage. I mean, they have the late game scaling as well, and they have the early game with Renekton. So I think Ermines have quite the comp here. The only reason I'm not liking Chrono's comps too much is that like Leona Ezreal is a decent combo, and I think that a lot of the damage has to come late game from Ezreal. Orianna will do damage, but I don't know. It really you can't say that it's gonna be a straight up Orianna's gonna win or Kaale's gonna win, because I mean they're both just gonna scale together, and there's not a lot of interaction with the jungle on the side of Kaale as there is with Orianna. So I don't know. I feel like Ermines have the safe option, I guess.
Okay. I mean that's a fair approach. Like I do think Ermines is gonna play a little bit aggro, and that it's gonna be up to Team Chrono to really respond to that. Like the Nautilus engage, because I feel like Leona knows it's like I can get to the back line, but you can't follow me as far, and then you have this giant meat shield of a CC champ called Nautilus in your way. Auto attack stun, Q stun. He has the slow. Like he's just really difficult to get by. So I feel like they're gonna have to play it like the safe lane. That's gonna kind of push, for the side of Ermines to like either engage heavily, and they're just gonna have to react to that. So it depends. It just really depends. Are they gonna be passive or are they gonna be aggressive? It's up to them, not us. So it's
Yeah.
gonna be a good game though, because like we said, Ermines, they have their fourth place secured spot right now, but right behind them, not far, is Team Cosmic Remix and who is the other one right behind them at the moment? It is Calm Legends. Nope.
Calm Legends.
Destroying Expectations right above them actually with 6 points. So in between
Okay.
in between them right now, Chrono and Ermines. But yeah, it's just a very close call for this fourth and third place spot right now, or even second. It's just it's going to become really important these last 2 weeks. But
Keep
let
in
us know what
mind,
y'all think.
I know we didn't go over the teams earlier, but Ermines is using 2 of their subs. X Crossbite, who is I guess going to be the top laner, or at least if we see any lane swaps, it's going to be between Crossblade and Submit, who is the other substitute on their team. So it's gonna kind of be interesting. If it is Renekton mid, that's some spicy stuff.
It is Renekton mid. That's crazy.
Yeah, unless we see some sort of lane swap.
Oh, that's true.
It could be possible. They're allowed to do it, but we'll have to see. I think that's a really good matchup for Kaale, because she can just pretty much safely scale to a late game. She doesn't have to worry about contesting objectives with the jungler. I think that's kind of what the strength that I was referring to lies in, like the mid jungle duo synergy. Renekton and Shyvana seem like a pretty good combination. Renekton can definitely help out the jungler as much as possible, much more than Orianna can in the early game. So, yeah, I think this is going to be a good game 1. And as far as standings go, yeah, this is it. This is second to last week.
That's it
for the regular season. I'm excited to see where these teams take it. But yeah, this is definitely a different lineup than what we usually see from Ermines. And I think this is a pretty standard lineup on the side of Chrono.
Yeah, this is their 100% standard lineup for Chrono. And yeah, Ermines, I think we've seen they have used subs before, so it's definitely not the first time that we've seen them use subs, and they generally do pretty decent, regardless of who's really a part of their roster, which shows like the synergy that they have as a team. But the consistency that Chrono has as well of having the same 5 players, showing up every single week and just pretty much just doing their thing. Like they have a really good pattern now at this point, and it's just really going to depend, communication wise, which we've seen time and time again that they have. So I really like this. I really like this. But
that is fair. All right. Well, with that, we're going to take it to a short break. But when we're back, we're going to have game 1 of Ermines versus Chrono. This is going to be a good matchup for all the noobs out there. This is diamond level gameplay. You don't want to miss it. Be right back.
All right, welcome back, all of you wonderful, wonderful people. It is your boy Rylionn and the sexy man Wookie in the flesh being your casters here tonight, and the wonderful host Wookie as well. Shout out, two things at once. I love you so much. But for round 5, it is Team Ermines versus Chrono. It is for the seeing if Ermines is going to go ahead and secure their 4th place spot here if they can lock it in within these last 2 weeks. And let's go ahead. We'll break down the teams once again for y'all. So on the side of red, we do have Team Ermines, which is X Crossblade in the top lane, Aku in the jungle, Submit in the mid lane, Shima is the ADC, and Monkey Madness 2 as support. And for the side of Chrono, we have Tumalu in the top lane, Clisby in the jungle, Aikinaga as the mid lane, Esteban as ADC, and Ninki as support. And this is going to be a banger, Wookie. I'm so excited.
Yeah, it looks like we can see off the bat they're not lane swapping already, so it is going to be confirmed Renekton mid with the Ignite. At being at a range advantage, you'd think that that's like not as good, but Renekton has really easy ways to get to the opponent with double dash from his E. So it's not as bad, and especially paired with the sustain that his Q gives, all you have to do is really build magic resistant Orianna. She's a very good champ to poke out with those auto attacks and the Q, but it's gonna come at the cost of either CS or stepping up a little bit too close for comfort. So we'll have to see how that lane goes. I think that's gonna be probably the spiciest lane, if I'm being honest. Because like I said,
true.
top lane, it's just gonna be crossplay trying to get to level 16.
Yep. Or at least level 6 to get a little bit of range so we can stop, autoing. And here we go. And the bot lane, Monkey Madness and Shima are going to go ahead and hit their level 2 power spike here. Ninki taking so much damage here. Esteban still focusing on the farming. Very nice. And now they're going to go ahead and match level 2. Wave crashes. And I like the engage immediately from Monkey Madness there. I mean, they played it really well. And that's exactly what they need to do, in order to capitalize later on in game. Ahead by a little bit more in farm. They're applying a little bit of pressure, and if they can keep on doing that, they're just gonna steamroll. That's what Kaisers do, unfortunately,
Yeah, Kaisers do steamroll, but it looks like might be a gank. The jungler for the side of Chrono was spotted on that ward. Could be. It's gonna try to. Looks like he's trying to invade here, actually. So looks like Aku might need some help. Nope, he secured the blue buff inside the push. And takes out the ward.
Ooh, I like that look. That's good. So get a little bit of extra gold, a little bit of CS.
Yep.
Can't ask for anything better.
That is what you want to do. You want to stay as safe as possible. Trundle, we know, is a very aggressive champion when it comes to...
Kamalu's going to go ahead and engage. Underneath tower, though, X Crossblade's going to get really low flashes. Underneath tower, Kamalu, 1, 2, 3, and first blood on over to X Crossblade. The continual damage is really what did it. That was so unfortunate. Barely missing that first blood on his own, but... that was spicy. You said mid was going to be spicy. Top lane already popping off. And here we go in the mid lane. Submit and Aikinaga going at it. There we go. Press the attack. And, Renekton. I almost said Rengar. Like you said, he has the ways of being able to get in, do a lot of damage, and get right back on out. While Orianna, sitting at level 4, kind of a little bit higher cooldowns, a lot of mana use. And it's just... if he can continue doing that, that's just like Ermines is really, you're right, setting themselves up really nicely early game, and if they can continue doing these early things, like they're doing fantastic.
Yeah, I think that was definitely a blunder on the side of Tumalu.
Oh, here we go. Monkey Madness doing another nice engage on the Ninki, just getting chunked down once again. Shima, I mean, is trying to capitalize as fast as she can, but sadly when you power up with the E, you don't get to go ahead and auto attack. But it doesn't matter. Clisby's gonna go ahead and engage onto the bot lane here. Monkey Madness is gonna fall. Esteban picking up the kill, very much needed. Shima's gonna flash over the pillar, very nice. But direct to camera wants to go ahead and see what's going on into the mid lane here. Aikinaga getting the press the attack stacks all the way off on themselves, and yep, just bouncing right back on out. Great job. Great gate from Clisby in the bot lane there to secure the kill for Esteban.
Yep. As soon as the ward ran out, they were getting ganked by Clisby. So good job on him to come back to that lane. Because definitely after you kind of pressure under tower, definitely have to be careful of Trundle, who really exceeds at mispositioning. So if you're pushed up way too much, he's gonna take advantage of that with his pillar. And it looks like they are getting Infernal Dragon on the side of Ermines right now. I like this look. They know that Trundle and the bottom lane had to go back. They're going to capitalize by taking the first Infernal Dragon of the game. Next one is Ocean. Could possibly be a Hex Tech soul for us. That'd be spicy.
Ooh. I'll also take Infernal.
Well, Infernal was just taken, so it's not
Hey,
going to be a soul.
Don't ruin my hopes and dreams. It could RNG, you know? I don't know if it's a 0.001%, but I want it.
That's true. But we do have kind of interesting take on some of the plays here, because I thought this game was going to be a little bit slower, but it's actually pretty heavily action-packed right now.
Yeah.
With the gank on the bot lane, the mid aggression from Submit, the first blood. Tuvalu definitely blundered that. I think that was just lucky that Crosslade actually got under tower and baited him. That was a good flash by both of them, but unfortunately Tuvalu a little bit too far forward.
Yeah, it was a really good look, and maybe not a lot of kills, but like I said, definitely a lot of action. Submit going ahead and engaging once again. That press the attack stacks coming off that huge combo. That's 100% to like what, 40%, and just one combo. Waits like 8 seconds, gonna do it again.
Yep, that Iron Spike whip. Oh, I also encountered a little
bit of a glitch.
Yeah. Hopefully it goes back soon. Not really sure why.
Yep, not sure either.
Possibly because of a pause, maybe. But yeah. I guess we'll have to see how the rest of the game goes, but I think we might have to take it to maybe a short break to see why this is happening, because I've never encountered this bug before.
Yeah,
Riot has a lot of bugs, so we'll be right back after this. We should be able to fix this bug soon. Stay tuned. And we're out.
All right, hello and welcome back, all of you wonderful, wonderful people. Riot with a lovely, lovely client. Give us a little bit of time, give us a little break. You know, they're just thinking about your lovely casters here. But in the meantime, it looks like we had a few kills happen on the Rift here. Ermines up a little bit now, 4-3, up by about 2K gold. As you can clearly tell here, Renekton picking up 2 kills now. He's 2-1, while on the side of Chrono, Trundle also has 2 kills, but so does Ezreal. So, spreading a little bit more of the love around. Shyvana also sitting at 1-1. And Ermine's also looking really good in the farming department overall in each of the lanes. So, you know, it's looking like Wookie predicted. Pretty good start for the side of Ermines, but I'm not discounting Chrono just yet. They have a lot of damage coming up, and interesting enough, Ezreal has a Trinity Force. You don't really see that often anymore from him, especially as a first buy. How do you feel about that?
You really don't, and I think it's interesting because he's not gonna be doing tons of damage to the tanks like with Divine Sunder, right? And seeing the Renekton mid lane, I mean, I don't think maybe he's not going for that route, even though they do have a lot of tanky members already on the side of Ermines, so it's definitely interesting to see. Maybe he just wants to really kill Shima at this point.
I cannot blame him whatsoever. I mean, as a fellow ADC, I mean, I definitely want to target the other ADC and just embarrass them. It's like, how dare you step into my lane? You know what I mean? I know you have to queue up with me, but you picked the wrong game, my friend. And let's just go ahead and see here. Now, Crossblade hitting that level 11 now, so he has a little bit more powerful auto attacks. Urgot Tumalu is just on the run for his life. Now, Monkey Madness getting engaged here by Ninki, Clisby, and Esteban. The Solar Flare is going to land, and Nautilus. Monkey Madness 2 had no idea. Couldn't even react. Tumalu getting absolutely demolished. Lethal Temple is going to go ahead and pop off. X Crossblade is going to be able to walk out of there just fine. Oh, I thought they were going to stay in range for that third tower hit for a moment, but no. Yep, just barely kited out of it. Crazy, okay.
Yeah, a little bit of an interesting plays here. I mean, I didn't think Crossblade already grew to this potential already, but with the Blade of the Rune King already built, that is a strong first item. This Kale is going to scale rapidly now from here on out. Already taken that first tower. Being spicy.
Clisby here going on to mid lane. Submit, Aku, Monkey Madness, all there. Ninki's going to go ahead and follow up with the roam as well. But nope, no action there. It's just a little bit of like, hey, you can't do that to our friend. Please leave him alone.
Yeah. So a couple things we missed. Apparently the side of Chrono did get the Ocean Dragon. Oh. And we do have a Hextech Soul, so my fruitions came to part. Another thing to notice is that I don't know if this was during the break, but Ezreal got a kill, so that was interesting. And then it looks
Shyvana
like
has Rift.
Yeah, so they got a couple of things. And this Hextech Dragon is about to spawn here. Definitely in the position for Ermines for the taking.
Oh yeah, they have so much DPS right now between the Kai'Sa, the Shyvana, and the oh my goodness, I thought I was gonna steal it, and the Kale here. I mean, the DPS is gonna be absolutely ridiculous, and they do secure it. But team fight wise, though, it's really difficult to see who gets to give just one person the advantage. You know what I mean? Because like the amount of CC is kind of even on both sides. You have the Nautilus, who's pretty much like all of their CC, but you know you have Leona, you have Orianna. You know, I guess you could consider Urgot a little bit of the CC, but like these 5v5s as time goes forward, who are you gonna give it to?
Like I said during draft, I think this is gonna go to Ermines. I mean, we already see the KO like scaling very, very hard already. Getting to the item power spikes is what Crossblade needs to do for the rest of the game, right? So like once he gets there, once he gets to level 16, it's kind of really hard to deal with a KO, especially with the comp that has lockdown, but it doesn't have too much of it, and to get through her ult and have to worry about the rest of the team that as we see, Aku has built tanky and not straight AP.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, play the Rune King.
Tumalu's gonna go and get engaged underneath Tower X Crossblade. This time's gonna flash forward themselves. Didn't they learn anything from the beginning? No, they did not, but it doesn't matter. The ultimate! The clutch! Somebody clip that! Barely by a thread.
No!
The calculations, he said, do not worry. I wasn't even worried.
Oh,
wow.
No.
Tumalu, you played that so well, but Crossblades just played it a little bit better. That was just unreal. That was absolutely
clean.
unreal.
That was clean, yes. Somebody please clip that.
That's got to be in the highlights.
That is what happens when you underestimate a Kale. And I didn't know that interaction was how that worked. I thought
me neither.
I thought it was just like you still you still get dragged and die, but I guess not. that was interesting. You get eaten up.
It's gonna see this and then nerf Rylyonn's soul immediately afterwards, you know?
True, very true.
God,
yeah, that took me away. That was such a good play. Good, well-timed ultimate coming in from Crossblade. Definitely what you want to see. Staying alive as much as possible as the scaling continues.
I mean, Tumalu also did a great job, as great as he could have done, you know, in that situation.
Yeah.
But, oh wow.
But he couldn't let it go.
No.
He could not let it go.
Was going to go ahead and try to engage back onto X Crossblade, but no, X has just got the range. The lethal tempo stacks are just too good, and that, like, level 13 to level 12, that's just one more auto, and you have X Crossblade 4-0. They have Blade of the Ruined King. They're making their Rift Maker here. And, like, that's all she wrote. That's all she wrote. Kale is just too ridiculous now.
Yeah, absolutely massive. And speaking of massive, this Renekton is overshadowing their counterpart mid laner with almost a 30-ish CS advantage. This is going very well for the side of Ermines right now. And, I mean, it's going to be hard for... I think it's really going to be really hard for Chrono to come back from this because, sure, they do have late-game scaling, but it's going to be really, really tough to get through the front line, as I was speaking of earlier from the side of Ermines, right? You have Nautilus, you have a Renekton that, building Gold Drinker, you even have Shyvana, which we thought we were gonna see AP Shyvana, but actually no, it's looking like it's gonna be a mix of Frostfire Gauntlet plus I think it's gonna be Demonic Embrace if I remember correctly, something like that, and then continuing to build a little healthy and AP scaling for that. So it's gonna be rough, but we'll have to see if they can continue to try to at least get like they did that first Ocean Dragon. Maybe they can contest the rest of these objectives, but it's really up to Ezreal at this point. Like Ezreal definitely still, so not doing too bad. A little bit of a lead over their counterpart on Shima, but yeah, it looks like they're posturing well for this dragon as well. So let's see if they can actually get this one and stop the stacking from Ermines.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a wait-and-see kind of game. I mean, are they building the Nashor's Tooth on Kai'Sa to go ahead and get the W and the E upgrade at the same time? I believe so. So they went for Manamura first. They're actually going to go ahead and just start focusing the Baron. They'll give up the Hex Dragon. They said, do not worry about that. Ermines is definitely wanting to go ahead and try to secure this out here within the next couple of minutes. Trundle is going to go ahead and finish that up. Ezreal is going to try to just see what they're doing with the ultimate, but no, they're going to go ahead and secure this. It looks like Ninki's going to go ahead and flash forward. Solar Flow is going to land. Tumalu's going to go ahead and go from the side flank, but Ikenaga's going to go ahead and land. Nice! Cosmic Wave there. Clisby is going to go ahead and try to do what he can to stop the summon from getting to the back line, but it's going to be to no avail. Clisby is the next on the target here for X Crossblade. I'm sorry, the double kill on over 4X, and that is one member left for the side of Chrono. 5-11. I mean, 6-0 on X Crossblade right now. Over half the kills to just one champion, and they are not letting that go to waste. Great job. They were able to secure the Baron, too. Very close call, but I thought it was going to go their way for just a moment, Chrono, and they had it, it seemed, but... and then it just went the other way. Yeah, then Crossblade happened.
Too strong right now on this KO. Like I said, it's going to be really, really hard to get to their backline, get to Crossblade. I mean, with the ultimate, like, I don't know. Chrono they don't have. I think they don't have, you know, something like a Vayne, right? Like that'll do sustained damage to make sure that all these tanky members are getting lower and lower, or like AOE, like something like Victor, which I think was banned by them actually. Like,
yep.
Anything to try to sustain the damage as much as they're healing up and as much as they're getting poked out. And I think that's what Ermines in the draft went for, right? They targeted the poke champions for this specific reason. They were like, we're gonna form a dive comp that, and you're never gonna be able to kill Kale because you can't poke her out. You can't burst her down with that Lux ban. So it's oh man, this is just impending doom.
Aku just running right into them, not giving a care in the world. Crossplay now gonna teleport onto the tier 2 mid tower. Yeah, they're gonna go ahead and focus this and just try pushing this out while they have Baron for the next about minute, I believe. Let's go ahead and see.
And I mean, the siege goes on. They can't really dive right now. Now that Aku does not have his dragon form. But Crossplay can do a lot of work on these towers. Just have to be careful.
He can do a lot of things. Towers, champions, he does not care.
He really doesn't. This is like a slow bleed to the side of Chrono right now.
Yep, they are. Yep, just penetrated the base itself. Inhib is about to go down. Clisby and Ninki trying to do what they can. Nice dodge from Crossplay, though. They are not going to get locked down. Solar Flare is going to be down for just at least 25-30 more seconds here. It was just used a little bit ago. Couple members looking at half health, but, you know, still, very tanky team overall. I mean, like you said, look at Shyvana. Way more health right now than the Nautilus and Renekton, which is doing a phenomenal job. All of them are. Aku, Submit, Crossblade, Shima, but right now my MVP vote is definitely going to be with Crossblade. You know, they're doing everything. Opening up top lane, keeping a lot of pressure up and around, secured both Rift Heralds, secured the Baron essentially. Like, they're just doing a lot of great things.
Oh, Aku has to use the dragon to get out.
They're fine.
Sad. Yeah, it'll be back up in
very short cooldown.
Yeah, well, more like you know, the amount of auto attacks they can do on those jungle camps will decrease that and get that bar filled up, right back up again. Still has quite a few camps to farm. We do have the next dragon coming up in a minute, so there's time. And yeah, the push is now on bottom lane. We already have top lane pushing on the side of Ermines. Just have to respond with the next few towers on the bottom side, and then go to drag, I think, is their plan. And we see that Submit is just there to just kind of make sure Crossblade doesn't get into a 1v5 situation, which I respect that. I respect that. You always want to help out.
What's looking like.
Yeah, you always want to help out the person who's doing the best or the most damage on your side, and that is one way to just hover.
Oh my god. Shima is just knocking down people with these W's right now. Like, that's the beauty of having the Nashor's Tooth. I think it's so, or in this case they have a Luden's Tempest, but you know, either one of those items, just getting that W maxed is really a game changer for Kai'Sa overall.
Yeah. Well, especially because you know, Shima's building AP, right? Because they already have the auto attack damage. They don't need another person who's kind of in everybody else's face. Even though if that's what they wanted to do, if the roles were reversed and Shima was the one who is 6-0, then that's definitely possible for the Nashor's Tooth to come in, and I can see Crossplay just being kind of more supportive. But in this case, they don't need another person who goes in with them. They just need someone to poke from the back, right? So I kind of like that angle. It kind of serves the same role as Ezreal, who just wants to poke. Make sure that the health bars are as low as possible before a full engage from this side comp goes in. Baron is on the table in about 30 seconds now, and man, it's so hard for Chrono to get close, especially with Crossblade on the other side of the map, just pushing and pushing and pushing. If they want to do the 1v5, they can right now, but they don't know where anybody is.
Right. No, and look at that, and all their vision that they're just putting down is just getting freshly just whacked on out. So it's like they can't walk into anything. Ninki is going to go ahead and get caught out. Pillar's going to go ahead and stop the advancements from the side of Ermines. Great job coming in from Clisby. But yeah, they are gonna try to burn this Baron as fast as possible, and like we said earlier, they have so much DPS. Look at that. Crossblade, Kaisa, like, they don't need anything else right now, and yeah, there goes the Ezreal ultimate. Always a little bit too soon, and oh, Ninki just trying to do what she can to get some kind of vision on there or steal a potential with the Solar Flare, but no, does not happen. And the siege begins. This might look like the beginning of the end of game number 1 here, but we've seen a lot of fumbles in our time as Team Gap, but this does not appear to be one of them. And oh my goodness, okay, Shiva's gonna go ahead and fully engage here. Octa's gonna go ahead and fall up as well. Clisby's the first one to go ahead and go down. Submit's gonna pick that up. Tomorrow's gonna go ahead and land a very nice shockwave there to land all 4 members, but no damage. They can't do anything about it. And 4 members down. Esteban and Ninki are the only ones up. All members have Baron. I mean, there's not a good sign for the side of Chrono. Ermines takes down both Nexus towers, and down goes the Nexus. Game number 1 for the side of Team Ermines. Absolutely crazy game number 1. Like, I mean, I wouldn't really say crazy. Like, they had really good control. You know, it was the dive with Kale that kind of began the ascend of Kale's snowballing there. So, you know, it was kind of unfortunate. And then the crazy interaction. It would have been a really sweet shutdown. And I think the momentum would have completely halted. And Tumala would have been able to do a little bit more there. Because 0-6, sadly, for the, you know, for the entirety of that first game. And I think right as soon as that second kill came in from the ultimate interactions between the two, like,
yeah,
he couldn't do anything after that.
Yeah, definitely. And I really like the coordination coming out from Ermine's bot lane. I think Monkey Mandus was our MVP last time we had them on stream, if I remember correctly, for Ermine's. If I remember that correctly.
There was Monkey Flip as well, so let me try to think here. Hold on.
I think it was the support, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it was Monkey Madness.
Pretty sure. So like you could definitely see the coordination in that game between Shima and Monkey Madness. I mean, the level 2, like you said, that set them up for so much, right? So it's definitely a very, very good look coming out from Ermines. They definitely want to try to get this quick and over and done with and move on to the next week. But I mean, that's game 1 already in a nutshell. So we're gonna take a short break, but when we're back, we're gonna have game 2 set up and players in the lobby. So stay tuned. Ermines takes it 1-0.
All right, welcome back, all of you wonderful, wonderful people. It is your boy Rylionn and Wookie here tonight as your casters, and Wookie also as the host, so double shout out to him as well. But game number 1 just ended here for Ermines versus Chrono, round 5 of the VCL before playoffs, which is 6 rounds here. What a crazy game. Ermines definitely deserved that win, first off. I mean, they played out of their minds, macro play, and just cross-played, exceeding all expectations in the top lane there. Really hard carrying his team and just doing a phenomenal job. And I expect to see a lot of bans probably focused around crossplay there in game number 2. What do you think?
Yeah, I do think the Kale is a problem, it seems like. I mean, Tumalu kind of misstepped very early on. I mean, it was very unfortunate to see that death happen, and then the second that that death underneath his own turret from Kale ulting herself, that was when it was like, oh man, this is bad. So it might have to they might have to try to ban it out maybe in the second phase here, but Chrono did play kind of well in certain parts. I think that it wasn't a complete stomp, right? We saw a couple of dragons being taken, and yeah, like I said, there goes the Kale ban right there.
Okay.
They do lose a ban because unfortunately they weren't in their Discord voice before or during that match.
Right.
But they did manage to ban out the Kale at least, and the Renekton this time. So different bans coming out for the side of Chrono, and they take blue side again, so they aren't gonna have a counter pick like Ermines will, but this is kind of what I guess this is what they want to go with, and let's see if there's a different play. And already the Xin Zhao, a different pick than last time.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of Xin Zhao play recently, you know, in VCL and PCL. He's just always been a really solid player. I think he can, you know, his 1v1 interaction's really nice, plus his 5v5, you know, team fight interaction. You know, his ultimate plays a really crucial role, blocking the ADC, especially if it's, okay, I was going to say Jinx, but she got banned out, or like a Caitlyn, you know, someone that we've seen traditionally that's really powerful right now, Aphelios. But Kai'Sa, again, for the side of Ermines, I mean, it worked really well last time. Great poking from Kai'Sa, like we saw, you know, the AP build. He went a Muramana straight into a Luden's Tempest. Hecarim, though, is going to actually be Aku's pick here for the jungle this time versus, what did he have last time? It was the Trundle, right?
He had Shyvana.
Shyvana, my bad.
Yes.
Yeah, it was the Shyvana. So he's going for speed this time. He said, I am speed.
I am speed, indeed. And it looks like the Nautilus is going to actually be taken away this time from the
I like that.
I like that a lot, especially since you're blue side. Like, the countering and is not on the table, right? So you have to do something else. You have to kind of expect what they might pick and take it away from them. And I like this approach. I mean, you can still see what Ermines want to do from just their 2 picks once again, right? I mean, we didn't see a lot of it last game because there was more matchups were kind of decided very early on, right? We had Crossblade kind of dominate top lane. We had, you know, Shima and Monkey Madness on the bottom lane just always pushed in and doing a lot of work on the tower. So there wasn't really a true 5v5 team fight, if I remember correctly, except for like when Baron came up. But even then, it was too late. The one decision that Ermines made, which I really liked, was making that call to go to Baron while the other team was on Dragon. I mean, it's really good game macro wise, because if you could burst down Baron, I mean, that's way better than getting a single dragon, right?
Absolutely.
So they were happy with that, and they knew they were on Dragon. They knew when they were coming, and then they turned the fight around in their favor. Even though I think it was Monkey Madness that got shut down during that fight, they were the only one that died. So like the macro decisions coming out from Ermines, but let's focus on the draft. Varus and Renata Glass picked up for Chrono and Ermines respectively. These are different picks. Definitely different picks. I haven't seen Varus in a long time, honestly.
Been a hot minute since I've seen a Varus, but that just, you know, that just means, you know, look out for it. I mean, if you haven't played against a character in so long, you kind of just underestimate the amount of damage that they do. And, you know, remember, he does more damage the lower that they are. He has the 3 little Blythe stacks. Like, he has his slow plus the Grievous wounds built in. So, you know, it is going to be a different bot lane. Like you said, the Renata now with the Kai'Sa instead of the Nautilus, which was picked up by Chrono. Oh, the Vigar now. for Ermine. So yeah, they're sticking with
Oh,
that scaling-esque type, situation. Vigar being the one to go this time. He had Renekton last time, so
yeah.
you know, not so much as a heavy engage, but like lock you down, let Hecarim come in and push you into my gate a little bit. But I like all the top lane bans coming in from Chrono though. It's so funny. We still
Yeah.
haven't seen the top lane pick from Ermine, so I wonder what Crossblade's gonna do.
Crossblade might want to try to counter whatever they pick here, as Orion is picked up once again. I really like the synergy this time from Chrono, honestly. Their comp seems a lot better in terms of synergy. I mean, you have Orion and Xin Zhao, probably like one of the strongest duos there when it comes to team fights, right? Because you have Xin Zhao engage, and then he kind of ults everyone else out, and I mean, you do have the ball, right? So you can either separate that single person from everyone or bring them all together with the Ori ball. So it's definitely in their quite literally ball game to practice that combination, make sure they get it down pat, and we'll see if they have. Urgot being picked again for Tumalu, but set this time on Crossblade, so it's a different kind of character. What do you think now? Yeah.
Urgot is still, very strong. We definitely seen what Tumalu could do with Urgot. Set is a little bit different because he's going to be up in your face all the time, so he has absolutely no range. But uh, I don't know. It's
Okay.
still like we've seen what Crossblade can do, but Set is just a completely different person. He gets enough grit, goes ahead, throws a haymaker. Like that's a lot of true damage. And Urgot, is he going to use his dash to dodge out of the haymaker, or is he going to go ahead and use his dash to go ahead and engage? And at that point, it's like now you're getting rid of your only kind of ability that can either distance yourself, because he can run fast, Set, and he
Yeah.
has a pull in. So it's like I don't know. This is gonna be hard, but I'm gonna go with Ermines overall
Okay.
for this pick, just because of what I saw Crossplay do last time with Kale and how they just performed as a team. They just really seem to have really great synergy tonight, and I think that momentum's gonna carry into game number 2.
My choosing is gonna be Ermines, but for a different reason. And I kind of so the thing is that Chrono it has a better comp this time, right? But the comp from Ermines, it kind of shuts down what Chrono want to do. You have Vigar with the cage. You have Set who can, pretty much disengage that person who is kind of going in. And I mean, I think this on the teams, this is more of like a who can do better in these team fights, right? You have Chrono that has a decent team fight, with the Ori Ball and the Xin Zhao or Urgot or Nautilus engage. But I mean, Renata Glass also is somebody who shuts down team fights real fast, right? With that
Right.
ultimate of hers.
Oh, I hate that thing.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough engaging when you have someone who can turn everybody against each other, especially with like something like Urgot, who actually the passive does proc on his own teammates. So yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. And Nautilus
Oh
too.
no.
Nautilus will root whoever he auto attacks and put them on that cooldown for his passive. So a lot of tools. I mean, even if it's just one, right? I mean, that root can last a while, especially if your own teammates aren't building merc treads, right? Like so.
Yep.
Definitely positioning is going to be crucial to what Chrono want to do in these fights. But I think Ermine's just is easier to execute. So that is my reasoning. So I mean, I'm gonna go with Ermines again. Sorry.
Okay, understandable, and definitely Chrono has the capabilities. I mean, like you mentioned earlier, the Ori Xin Zhao combo is going to be pretty deadly. If we see a lot of focus, yeah, Vigar has the cage, but outside of that, his mobility is extremely low, and he can't really do much of anything. And if they can get through his burst, and Oriana has shields, Xin Zhao has the capability later in game to go ahead and block a lot of damage. Plus, he has the dash in as well, so it could just be a patience game with some of the Vigar spells being used. So, Chrono is definitely not out of it. I expect to see roams also as well. That's a big thing that we've seen, with a lot of these teams. Ninki Nautilus roams have been huge.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of Pike play as well with our big on roams, but those two in particular. So I definitely expect them to have a big mental reset from game number one, like it never even happened. You know, they're number two for a reason in the standings.
Hmm.
You know, Ermines, not that they are bad or anything, like they're proving themselves tonight that they definitely deserve to be in top four, and they're making it to
Yeah.
playoffs by any means. But Chrono is not out of the water just yet, and I expect to see a game three tonight.
Yeah, this would be interesting because I mean, Ermines have a clear composition, right, of what they want to do. They want to engage, 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 or dissuade with both Renata Glass and Set, and Vigar as well. So it's clear cut what they want to do. Chrono, on the other hand, they have kind of, I mean, they have team fight, they have the scaling, but it's different, right? Because we have Varus, and Varus can one of two. He has one of two build paths, right? Like you got either build on hit with crit and Kraken, or even Gale Force. I mean, or you could build the poke damage run, right, with Dusk,
Lethality.
yeah, lethality, Duskblade, all of that jazz. Um, so it's kind of interesting of what they want to do. I mean, they really want these poke champions. I mean, we see like or on hit champions rather. We see the Kog'Maw and Jinx banned out once again. Even the Lux again banned out from them, and they're having to pick these different champions.
Mhm.
So I think this is really just a test for them, right? Like, can we operate on these other champions and form the comp that we want to do? Because we have pretty different characters from the last game that just happened. So I'm excited to see if they can actually pull together this time around, but we'll have to see. I mean, predictions are live, so go ahead and put in your predictions. But yeah, I think Rylionn, like you said, you're going with Ermines this time. I'm going with Ermines. So that now that we're on the same page, I think it's okay to let us head to a break. Once we're back, we're gonna see this exciting game of Ermines versus Chrono, Game 2. Ermines lead the series 1-0. Don't go anywhere.
All right, welcome back, all of you wonderful, wonderful people. It is your boy Rylionn and Wookie, and we are on game number 2 of round 5, Ermines versus Chrono. So far, Ermines leads the series 1-0. We have once again Chrono on blue side, Ermines on red, same as last game. Different matchups though, and it looks like we do have the traditional 5-point start, nice and safe, coming in once again from both sides. But yeah, this is gonna be good. Like you said, a lot of pokes still from the side of Ermine, just like they had last game. And here we have a lot of engage on the side of Chrono here. So this is and a little bit more well balanced team, like a little bit more well put together on the side of Chrono this game compared to last game. You know, we didn't really have a lot of DPS. It was just really Ezreal. You know, not really a lot of follow up from anybody else. But this time, Jinzhao, Urgot, Oriana. It's a lot. So
Yeah,
I think that they can do well.
they do have a more solidified composition, in my opinion, this time. So we'll see how they do. Jinzhao is going to look to trying to punish Hecarim early. I think that Hecarim, his power spike really comes at level 6, where he can fear entire lanes apart. So looking forward to Clisby kind of piloting this Jinzhao correctly. I mean, we saw him on Trundle last game. He tried to bully out the bot lane as much as possible. We'll see if he tries to focus a different lane, or if he sticks to his guns and just keeps going bot lane once again. But Crossblade actually taking a brunt of damage there. Unfortunate.
Yeah, this time Tumalo kind of wants to be pulled in, so that way he can go ahead and guarantee that he's gonna land his throw there. So maybe that's something that Crossblade is gonna have to consider moving forward. But once again, we're only at level 1, so it's gonna be a little bit different when you have a haymaker hitting you directly in the face. So
yeah, and yet again the level 2 hit from Ermine's bot lane this time. This time they don't have a Nautilus, so they can't really do too much, as Monkey Madness did use the hook, well, quote unquote hook. But yeah, we'll call it a hook. It kind of looks like one, right? So
yeah, essentially, it's a pole of some sort.
Pole, hook, or repositioning, if you will. Whatever the case may be, something to CC, something of CC.
True.
And yeah, this is kind of changed for Crossblade up in the top lane, right? He's not piloting a somewhat ranged champion. But...
Oh, here we go. Monkey Madness stepping up a little bit too far. Yep, Ninki's going to go ahead and get some nice damage. Esteban, though, is going to go ahead and start poking down. Very nice autos coming through. Does have the lethal tempo. Shima, on the other hand, has Halo Blade, so he's going to have that consistent damage as long as he keeps on damaging them. Coming in from Esteban, Chrono, Varus.
Yeah, keep in mind that Esteban did bring Exhaust instead of Heal, so he's not too worried about, he's not really worried about the laning phase right now, even though, they don't, I guess they don't expect to try to get any kills early on, because they know that the bot lane is a strong.
Aku's going to go ahead and do a nice little gank here to the perfectly timed cage from Submit, forcing the flash from Akinaga, and, yeah, that's just... rinse and repeat there. No flash, at least 5 minutes. It's like, yep, come right back around. Give you 12, 13 seconds. You know what? Base, and just do what you want.
Yeah. Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, it's good that Hecarim is forcing out these flashes early on. I mean, getting the tier pickup right away, I've seen this quite often coming from the higher elo, LCS, whatnot. They want to build that mana immune, so it's definitely a viable strat. I like it a lot. It gets that ramp going. With every Q proc, you get a tier stack. So
look at the CS right now on Tumalu. Like, a very different game than we saw from game number 1. Aku not doing another gank here, but on top side, X Crossblade already using the engage. Tumalu's going to go ahead and flip him over the shoulder. Very nice. Tries to flash over the Haymaker. Unfortunately, doesn't dodge any of it. And first blood picked up by Aku. Very nice. Did pop Ghost as well in that interaction, but totally worth it. Secures a little bit of an assist gold for Set. Allows him to go ahead and push that wave into his tower, and just like that, on the board, starting off 5 minutes in. Very nice from Aku in the side of Ermines.
Definitely very nice. That's what you want to see out of the Hecarim. Bursting flashes down so early on. Crucial.
2 for 2.
Now, if Tumalu does decide to be that far up again, that's an easy gank for Aku. So, Definitely want to make sure you're warded up, make sure that you're not getting ganked over and over again. Kind of what bot lane on the side of Ermines was getting ganked a lot, but they had vision, so yeah, just have to make sure that all your sides are covered.
Yeah,
we have the first dragon being an ocean dragon. I would love to see a Hextech or even a Cloud sword.
Now, I'm not sure if it's just the champion itself overall, like, or my lack of experience in jungle, probably. But, like, Xin Zhao is just one of those champions where it's just seemingly, like, even if you dedicate yourself to farming in jungle, if you give up, you know, being available, hold on one moment here, submit, and Aku's going to go ahead and engage on a level 4 Clisby, and the ultimates are going to be both popped by Aku and Submit to pick up a nice, easy kill. But look at that, level 4 Clisby. He's trying to focus on what he can farming-wise, but zero lane pressure. Like, zero lane presence, I mean. Hasn't done a single thing for his team. While we saw 2 back-to-back ganks from Aku and still ahead in farm overall. So, like, is that just a Xin Zhao thing? Or, I don't...
No, I mean, we saw very strong Xin Zhao plays.
Oh, X crossplay. Hold on one second. Showstopper's going to go ahead and pop to Malu. Nice haymaker to land that true damage and a huge chunk down. My apologies.
You're good. Yeah, that was a little interesting from Crossblade. I mean, did get Tumalu pretty low. He knows that he's flashless, so... But just not quite enough damage. He did build the Ninja Tabbies first, so that's going to kind of stop him from doing any more damage there. But... yeah, I mean, Xin Zhao is definitely like an early game jungler. I mean, we have seen strong Xin Zhaos recently, but remember that he did get nerfed, so it affects him a little bit, but not in the terms of jungle pathing, right? So it's definitely interesting that we see Clisby not being as aggressive in the lanes as Aku has been. And I mean, he was aggressive last game, right? We saw like 2 ganks like back to back on the bot lane, but maybe he just doesn't, feel comfortable doing that yet. He just wants to try to get to level 6. But it's definitely unfortunate because Submit had level 6. He had the Predator. He ran him down, and Ikenaga nor anyone else were around to help Clisby out. And I think that just speaks to the jungle mid duo synergy that I was talking about earlier. Very impressive coming from both Aku and Submit.
Absolutely. I mean, you're definitely not wrong, and that's really where teams are going to excel the most. I mean, you can be good as individual players, but if you don't have that good team synergy, if you're not able to effectively communicate and make call-outs, go ahead, follow up here, help me, I'm getting ganked. You can just see it on the side of Ermines right now. X Crossblade also doing a phenomenal job with Tumalu here on the top side. I mean, he kind of bounced back a little bit, was getting pushed in quite early. We saw him at a huge CS disadvantage early on, but now he's ahead by 6. Great job from Aku just making his presence known, and it's just proving to be effective. Like, Aku is looking as an MVP right now early on for game number 2 in my vote.
Okay. I was going to say Crossblade's doing relatively well. I mean, he knows the matchup. Once again, he just faced Urgot and in the same player. So even though it's a different champion that he's playing, I think it's still in his favor to try to, kind of shut out the lane early on, and that's what they have been doing. And yeah, Mountain Dragon is next up on the clock. Rift Herald is open. And there's not a lot. I mean, look at the map right now. The mini-map, there's not a lot of vision, which surprises me a little bit. Usually I would love to see like a lot of wardage all around the map at this point in the game, but the only real vision we have is not even on the objectives themselves. I mean, well, Clisby did just pick up a ward and take out a ward right there around the Rift Herald. It might be where they're aiming for, as we see Aku also up there.
I mean, for the lack of vision that's on the map itself, a majority of it is Ermines here. Nice engage from Aku and Submit here. The double ultimates from both of them to go ahead and secure another kill onto Ikenaga. And that's, I mean, that's twice now that we've seen the combo within the last couple of minutes. 0-3 now for the team Ermines. Tumalu is going to go ahead and engage. Misses the ultimate point blank. Unfortunately, the showstopper is going to pull him right on out of it to save his life, and he's gonna have the sustain. He also has the steel-plated caps, or both of them do actually. So it's just, they're both quite accustomed to their play styles. It seems like from last game.
It's
Okay, very nice. Ninky's gonna go ahead and engage with the Dredgeland as well. Rooted, double rooted now. The ultimate's gonna go ahead and pop, but Monkey Madness is trying to get away. The Flash Ignite comes in from Ninky, but Clisby said, do not worry. I do not want the support to have that. Give me that. Clisby picks up his first kill of the game, and actually for Team Chrono overall. So great job putting them up on the board. A lot of resources used just for the support, but I will take anything. It's better than having nothing right now. So great job, and also Ninky not picking it up. I like the attitude, and it's like, all right, we have to get something. But I'm glad that Clisby sniped that from the back.
Yeah, that does help him out a little bit. It does look like he's going Gore Drinker, so he does want to be that frontline menace that we were talking about in the draft phase with the Oriana ball on him. The problem is, I don't know if that singular kill is going to do too much as of right now. This dragon is coming up. Like you said, they did use a lot of resources, so they're not going to have that up for this dragon coming up.
It's true. Yep. I'm sorry. Depth charge from Nautilus is his ultimate. Yeah, that's kind of important. You know, we're only about 60% of the way through. We still have 20 seconds left on Dragon, so it might be up in the middle of that fight at some point. Crossblade though and Tumalu both have teleport available, so you know, let's just see if they're gonna either just keep on duking down the top side or if they are gonna join their team here for this fight. But no wards right now. Also from the side of Ermines, Chrono has really good vision. They are going to go ahead and clear that one out, but 2 other vision wards are available near the Dragon Pit right now.
I mean, they see that, you know, Aikanaga and Esteban are clearing out the lanes, and now we're going to get...
Uh-oh, here we go. Very nice. Cage is going to go ahead and land. Oh, a double ultimate landed from Aku. Aku's going to go ahead and pick up 1 kill on Ninky. Follow-up kill from Submit off onto Clisby. This is going to be a free dragon, dragon number 2 for the side of Ermines. Very good job for just locking that down. I mean, yeah, these little chokehold points are where they're going to thrive heavily. The cage is going to be landed by Submit, and then Aku's just going to follow up with an onslaught of shadows, and it's just going to push everybody to a stun. It's going to be just instant CC and just rinse and repeat in every team fight.
And that's kind of what I meant during draft when I said easy to execute, right? I mean, it only takes a few buttons, and you know, Cage, you know, you could have an estimation of where you want to put it, and you'd have the team follow up the rest of the damage, right? Or CC in this case. So, and I mean, I think Renata's ult is hostile takeover. I think is what it's called. Oh. Okay.
Here we go. Ninky's going to go ahead. The depth charge is going to land onto Shima, but the ultimate is going to pop from Monkey Madness, but that's going to allow Shima to go ahead and ultimate away as well. He's going to give up his body. Yes, the Great Shield is not going to be enough. The cleanse and the flash. 2 kills not picked up. Clisby being one of the benefactors along with Esteban. Very nice. 3 and 5 so far onto the board here. Chrono making the way back into the game. They are not out of it just yet. They do need to secure these shutdowns on the jungle and the mid lane here, but once again, building up slowly but surely. Aikanaga having the worst time right now in the mid lane. I mean, Submit is just so huge right now. The cage pops. Primordial Burst is just like a point and click. Does 40% of the health and then follow up with an auto attack. I mean, what are you supposed to do to avoid that?
Play safe.
Underneath my own
tower. Not be in cage range. Not to be in cage range. That's I mean, it's very hard to do.
It is extremely hard. Clisby and Ninky trying to hold down the mid lane here. Monkey Madness and a teleport coming in from Crossblade as well. Submit is going to fall. Unfortunately, Aku, though, is going to pick up one of the killers. Shut down on over to Clisby as well. Oh, the Haymaker to absorb that last tower hit. Doesn't matter. Tumalu said, get over here. Very nice. Ultimate Fear Beyond Death is going to pop. Shima just chilling in the bot lane, going to push and get some solo experience. But meanwhile, everyone else is not stopping just yet. Monkey Madness, Renata, pushing him back, saying, stop following me. And that is going to be it. 2 for 2, I believe, overall in that team fight. Great job from both of them. Aku pulling out big engages there. Didn't quite get the mid lane tier 2 tower, but still. Very nice.
That was very nice from both sides. Oh, but Ninky takes the grub.
That's it. Someone clip it. He's getting my MVP vote honorary.
Ninky. Yeah, I mean, they're going to have to come back with the 2-1 just to secure that MVP. Just like that. I mean, that fight was interesting, right? Because we had kind of a turret dive-ish. We saw a lot of resources used. Submit was actually taken down, And I mean, when you take down the first turret, right, in mid lane, you kind of want to just, you know, save up, keep scaling back. But they said, let's just go for it. We'll risk it, whatever. But I think they lost quite a few shutdowns, and even though that Chrono,
Oh no, Submit's gonna go ahead and land the Everfrost.
man.
Double Stun's gonna land. Depth charge from afar, but it doesn't matter. Primordial Burst is already too big. And that is that. What's he building? I'm gonna assume it's gonna be Rabadon's next.
Yeah.
He has one needlessly large rod, probably another one coming up soon.
And just as I say that, I mean, Vigar is just gonna keep getting on the bounty list anyways, so, I mean, doesn't matter too much. I mean, Chrono is behind 4K gold at this point, so those shutdowns really didn't mean too much. I mean, the counterparts are still ahead by quite a large margin, but the risk versus reward, I think, was in the favor still of Ermines, and Submit is just looking for blood. Oh my gosh.
Yes, he is. Ultimate isn't quite up yet. Primordial Burst, but the cage is going to go ahead and land a nice stun. Clisby, unfortunately, yes, the shockwave does miss by Akinaga, and here comes Monkey Madness as well with the ultimate. Esteban's going to follow up. Does get the kill, though, onto Vigar. Aku's going to follow up with Onslaught of Shadows. Is diving a little bit heavy. Esteban's going to go ahead and pick up the kill on, not before though, Aku takes Clisby with him, and that's going to be 2 for 1 so far. And are they going to be able to take at least one tower? This might be the first tower of the game for Chrono. They do have a nice little healthy wave of minions at their disposal. Crossblade might be able to do something. Showstopper is at his beckoning call right now. Lands a nice double pull in. The Haymaker does some serious true damage. They are going to back up after that one, as Esteban's going to go ahead and try to poke back with Qs. But seriously, like, they have not been able to get a single tower, not any objective on the map so far. Like, they are just desperate for gold at any point in time. And if they're just going to keep giving them shutdowns, that's one way that they could possibly come back into it. Because Chrono, like, how many times have we seen Orianna be like the make it or break it in team fights, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, Akinaga did miss that crucial shockwave there. That is going to be a mistake that will kind of, you know, have to be fixed during the later stages of the game, because those ults, that like I said, that combo can change a team fight around, just like you're saying. So definitely going to have to make sure that a shockwave does land. Make sure you're timing the summer spells. We did see a couple flashes used during that fight, I think from Submit maybe, and yeah, that sealed the deal. And I mean, even though Esteban did pick up that kill, and it looks like he is going on hit, so he's not going the poke route here, and I think that's respectable. They do have quite a few tanky members on the other side. Crossblade,
yep. Trying to engage here onto Tumalu. Ninki making a nice little roam towards top side. Meanwhile, Clisby's trying to secure this Rift Herald. Maybe. Let's see if Aku, nope, doesn't steal it, unfortunately. Might get caught out. The Showstopper's going to go ahead and land onto Tumalu. Crossblade trying to do what he can. Very nice ultimate coming in from Monkey Madness 2 just in the nick of time. Shockwave does land Aku. Shima's going to go ahead and get knocked up. Clisby's next on the dinner plate. Ninki looking real low. That is going to be 4 members down for just 1. Monkey Madness gladly gives up her life for that, as the support does. And that is just further extending the lead here for Team Ermines. They are trying to close out game number 2. Oh, perfect timing by Shima. That wasn't even like a pixel stop stun. That was like landed and stopped, like immediately. Flawless.
That was like the cool man's cleanse, where you kind of walk away and keep walking because you just timed it so right that you just keep walking. You don't even get, the root didn't even hit. It didn't even look like it hit. It's just like, yeah, it's whatever.
That was crazy. Great job. Ermines is just playing out of their minds tonight. They said, I know we're 4th seed, but that does not mean we play like 4th seed players. So we're coming for 2nd place, and at the rate they're going right now, they are going to lock that in here before week number 6.
Yeah, it is looking like it. The 3 dragons up. Oh, no.
Ninki just, voluntarily giving up his life. He said, I can try to run, I can try to hide, but it don't matter. They are going to catch me right before a very important Baron, too.
Yeah, he tried to do the hex flash over the wall, but he knew it was just... but yeah, this Baron is up. It's definitely for the taking for the side of Ermines, but I don't know if maybe they are really going to go for it right now. It does look like it. They do know that Ninki's down for a couple of seconds. They don't have a support, they don't have rewards until that one is played. play, so they know they're on it. The question is, do they contest without Wookie? It's going down pretty rapidly.
Clisby's going to go ahead and engage from the backside. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to pop in. Aka's going to go to just jump over the wall, but the sustain and the damage coming in from Clisby is too good. Down goes to Malo as well for the side of Chrono, so 1 for 1 as of thus far. Ninki getting caught out, trying to do what he can. Shima forced to pop the ultimate as well. Submit is going to go ahead and definitely take down Ninki. 2 members down. Now, Riptail's going to pop, so they said, okay, we got them off Baron. We can at least do some damage. Crossblade, though, looking from the backside, does flash forward. The pull is not going to land just yet. Showstopper does land solely onto Clisby. Very nice. The sustain's going to come through. Another big shutdown. The flash out of the cage to safety, and they're doing a tremendous job. Chrono is. I told you, they're not out of it just yet. They stopped the Baron advancement. They got a very important shutdowns, and they are going to go ahead and back off from there. Very nice move from the side of Chrono.
Yep, very nice. I like the look there to pop the Rift. I thought they were just going to get collapsed. I mean, we saw that Clisby was so low, but interestingly enough, I think it was a little bit of a misplay on Crossblade's part, because when he showstoppered, the team wasn't nearby, so he just, you know, he kind of did the haymaker and then just got popped.
There's no Grievous wounds. Like, we've seen Sustain. I know you, Xin Zhao got nerfed recently, but the Sustain is still there. He wants to be grouped up. He wants to be a part of, you know, all of the members. He has the Hextech. I'm sorry, not the Hextech. He has the Gore Drinker, so he wants to be surrounded by as many people as possible. He has a Death Stance to delay some of this damage that's oncoming as well, to give him enough time to build the Sustain. Like, he's doing a great job. 5-5-5. He's been getting most of the kills, and he said, for good reasons, too. I'm not going to let these go to waste.
Yep, for sure. And now both teams are posturing for this next dragon. It looks like Ermines kind of have the upper hand. We see Tumalu in the top side. I like this actually a lot, because they know that, you know, if we can't actually 5v5...
Crossblade's going to go ahead and start the engagement here. Aku's going to follow up with the Ghost as well, going right onto the back line. Onslaught of Shadows did land, and Submit's going to go ahead and pick up the kill onto Ninki. Tamalu is next. Double kill. Very nice on over to Submit. Esteban trying to do what he can to stop the advancement of Aku. Does pick him up. Shima, though, pops onto the back line. Rest of the team of Ermines is going to focus down Esteban, and last but not least comes Aiki Naga, and that is going to be a team ace for the side of Ermines. Very good. They're going to be able to secure their 4th dragon, probably a Baron, and then this game just might be over here soon at the rate that we are seeing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that was a really good team fight for the side of Ermines. Even though they lost the Qs, they might not actually be able to get Baron right away.
Good point.
Wait for him to come up for that smite. But yeah, it's just falling further and further behind for the side of Chrono. I mean, they weren't really ahead in the first place. They, you know, like we saw, they kept getting shutdowns, but those weren't transitioning into any objectives, right? It was just kind of like half-scarce fights where they would get a couple shutdowns, but be too low to do anything else, not even push. And I mean, the Rift Herald play was actually the closest they got to actually being able to get an advantage, but they had to back out from that one too. So it's just really good coordination coming from the side of Ermines. And oh no, not Tumalu getting cornered like this.
Let's just see. He does flash out of the cage, so Submit might be in a little bit of trouble. No, Aku is definitely there. Same thing for the rest of Ermines, just in case. And yeah, he is. I thought he was gonna at least try to do something a little bit, but Shima though trying to single-handedly poke down the remainder of Chrono. Aku's gonna go ahead and pop the Chemtech. Very nice, but no, he's gonna run straight into like 3 of the members. Aku just dies immediately, giving the kill to Aiki Naga here. I don't know. I mean, we can, if he's MVP, we're gonna ask him about that, by the way, so just keep that on reserve.
I mean, I don't know if he gets my vote from that. No flame, no flame. It's just like, well, why are you going to engage when there wasn't any vision in that bush? Your team's not around you. It was kind of far-fetched. I mean, sure, Shiba could have, you know, ulted in, but it's at that point, it's just like you're in a crowded corner. You didn't even have the Onslaught of Shadows to kind of follow up with the rest of your team, and you just kind of got stuck. You couldn't even ult it. But good response from the side of Chrono. Make sure that the jungler's dead for sure.
Yeah.
That's all you can really do is pick up kills at this point. Try to, recover CS. But this Baron is getting started once again. And so they have to respond.
Yes, they do. Ninki getting chunked out before the fight even begins, though, in the Baron pit. Onslaught of Shadows now, straight on to Ikinaga here. Very nice follow-up from Shima for the backline. Clizzy is trying to do what he can to keep Aku and Shima off of them, but no, it's not going to be any avail right now. Double kill on over to Shima. There goes the showstopper. The Haymaker to follow up as well. The true damage comes through, and another team gap ace for the side of Ermines. They are going to focus down Baron now and probably secure game number 2. I mean, it looked really good. They tried to do what they could, but Chrono just has no damage comparative. 12 to 29. Like, they don't have, it's not the same. It is not the same, even remotely close. And Ermines is proving to be the very better, very well-prepared team coming in here to round number 5. It's absolutely insane.
Yeah, this is incredible gameplay coming up from Ermines. I definitely think they deserve this win. Their performance has been really good both series, and yeah, this is really spelling the end for Chrono right here. It's so hard to come back from this deficit, right? They're above 10k gold behind. Viger has scaled immensely. You see the CS numbers. It's so, oh man, it's like trying to. The opportunity to come back is like trying to find a needle in a haystack right now for Chrono. It's very sad to see. We've seen this before in the VCL actually, where there's really nothing you could possibly do. I mean, your team does scale a little bit, but not as much as the other side, and especially when those scalers get ahead, like Vigar, like the Kale we saw in the first game. It's so difficult. You have to be really. Like, you have to be really practiced and really coordinated to come back from this type of game. Which, I mean, Chrono, I feel like, being the second seeded team right now, they might have had what it takes to pull it off. I don't know if it's kind of maybe an off day. I mean, it happens, right? But as of right now, they're going to have to really struggle to get this last week of points going forward if they 0-2 this week. So, and this is gonna be probably the last team fight they'll have before that. Minions are being pushed to the tower.
Submit does get a little bit of poke damage though from Esteban. Can't step up too close. Bear still does damage. Cannot count him out just yet. Let's see if a nice little shockwave combo might be in order here. Depth charge shockwave, I would like to see it. Ikinaga's gonna get picked out here by Submit. Yeah, the 1020 AP Vagar. Very nice primordial burst gonna land onto the backline there. And there goes a hostile take over. The showstopper as well. Clizby is trying to do what he can underneath the tower. He's the last surviving member for just a moment longer, and that is it. Another team gap ace, and that is going to close out 2-0 Team Ermines over Chrono in commanding fashion here in round 5 for the VCL. Amazing gameplay.
Yeah,
wow.
I could not have asked for a better 2-game series than this one for the night. So, congrats to Ermines. They take second place now.
Yeah.
Assuming that none of the other teams kind of beat them in the standings. But
Cool.
I think they're fourth right now, so that moves them up quite a bit. And yeah, I mean, what incredible coordination coming out from Ermines. I'll say it again. I said it again. I'll say it again. I'll say it again and again. Coordination when it comes to jungle mid, duo synergy, all that sort of things. All of that comes into play. And it really did shine tonight for Ermines. I think they have a chance at maybe trying to beat the undefeated Miami in the playoffs. But we'll see. I mean, Chrono still might have a chance, right? We might see, I think some of the other teams are sitting at lower points much more than the higher seeded teams. So, you never know. It might be a toss-up. We still have one more week to go, right? And that could change a lot of things. But 1 week is dangerously close to start changing things at the same time. So, but yeah, I'm going to put up the poll real quick. Why don't you walk me through who you think was the MVP for Ermines tonight?
Ooh, Ermines. Okay, there is a lot of good players. There's a lot of players that stood out tonight that definitely held their own. They did exactly what they need to do, plus some in top side. X crossplay there. Aku setting up the jungle, being very present. Very early on, having two ganks back to back, mid and top, setting up the rest of his team. Submit doing what he needed to do in the mid lane as well to follow up. Like, it's very difficult to just pick one, but the most exceptional player for tonight's matchup for me is going to be definitely Crossblade. Like, they just
Okay.
exceeded expectations in top side. Starting off with the kill, they single-handedly carried their game first. In the first game, I mean, like, absolutely. Not that Ermines couldn't do anything, but they just said, "Do not worry. Literally, trust me. I got this." And they definitely did. Very close second. Aku would be like my backup MVP vote. But setting up the greatness that we saw in top lane coming in from Crossblade. But seriously, Crossblade, and then holding it down in round number 2 there. Just continuing what they could do in top side. Just phenomenal. Absolutely
Hmm.
phenomenal.
I'm actually gonna. I put my vote towards Submit. I think Submit played probably the best out of everyone there. I mean, we saw first game the aggressiveness coming out from Renekton in the mid lane against Aikanaga. What couldn't ask for anything more, right? You had the 1-2 combo. It looked very clean because it was, and then in the second game, Vigar just popped off. I mean, that's all you can ask for of a mid laner. Two different types of mid laners, and that kind of I think that kind of shows how versatile these players are coming out from Ermine. So I definitely think Submit is going to take my vote, as many of you have also voted for Submit. Submit is currently at 6 votes. Some runner-ups are Crossblade and Monkey Madness, but yeah, Submit played very well in my opinion. So did Crossblade. Maybe
Yep.
a little bit flipped on the second game there, but
That's
uh,
true.
yeah, but yeah, I think Submit. I mean, I'm also biased because I'm a mid laner too, and I love playing Vigar. But regardless, currently the one leading. But yeah, this is now we have a few more games here. We only have a couple of games left in the regular season, so I'm excited to see where Ermines go from here. Because the standings, like I said, it's gonna change for these next 2 weeks, depending on how the other teams do, obviously, where they're placed and who they're up against in the playoffs, which will be seeded after the next week ends. That's gonna be like it's gonna be crazy. I can't believe it's already almost the end, right?
I know. Like, or the end of the VCL, you mean? It's
Yeah,
like, yeah, it's only going to be 8 weeks long in total. That's even before we get to playoffs for the PCL. So if you think, hey, this
yeah.
is the end, you are mistaken, my good friends, because we still have an additional 3 weeks of PCL to enjoy as well. So we
Ah,
have all the way through week 9, and then the 2 remaining weeks that will be playoffs, and then the finals. So
it looks
I
like we have a tie.
really, they
Our
actually did
first
it. Yep.
tie of the season. Actually, we haven't had a
Submit
tie.
and
Uh,
Monkey, the bot lane duo.
Monkey
Oh
once
no, sorry,
again. Oh
Chameleon
man.
baby. Yeah,
So I'm gonna pull them up in a second here. My mic is broken. I can't interview. Nah, I don't believe that for a second, Monkey Madness. It's okay. You'll have Submit there to kind of cover for you, okay? But yeah, let me drag both of them up. Congrats to our MVPs of the night. There's
she's been
one,
communicating with Morse code.
and there's two. Boop and boop.
All right. Hello.
Hello.
How are you two doing?
Pretty well.
Mhm.
Happy that we won.
Yeah, absolutely. I could imagine. I mean, you guys have already secured your spot, like you said, or you were fourth place, so you had playoffs coming into the last 2 weeks, but it was like borderline. I mean, you were right there. Team Cosmic Remix and Com Legends were like right on y'all's tail, but now you just jumped to second place, very comfortable, top 4 right now. Going into the last week here. I mean, thoughts like. What did you expect from Chrono going into this? Did you expect a 2-0, or did you think game 3 was actually going to come around?
We knew we'd 2-0. We practiced really hard.
Yeah, we
Okay.
came with a lot of confidence.
Hmm.
That I like it.
It
I mean,
showed.
you definitely submit. You were like, Renekton first, yeah, give me that. And you went super aggro, pressed the attack just like we thought you were gonna do, and
Yes,
you
sir.
you showed up and showed out. Second game, Vigar, you said you thought Renekton was bad. Let me go ahead and drop 1100 AP on you. So you know, it's definitely interesting. And I mean, you guys showed up. You had all the confidence in the world. Great job also to you as well, Monkey Madness. Your
Thank
Renata
you.
play phenomenal, setting everyone up in the bot lane. Shima, for greatness there, and game number one, winning with the Nautilus. I mean, you guys had a really good comp. Just going into both of these games tonight, like you guys said, a lot of practice, a lot of focus, and it really paid off. Great job.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I do have a question for both of you because I saw like you guys picked Kaisa, and did you want to revolve around Shima for both of these games, or was it just like, you know what, we'll do whatever? I think Monkey Madness and you as well, Submit, are gonna cover his ass, or was it something else?
Well, the first comp is something that we practiced for a different reason, but
Okay.
we figured it would just work in this situation too. Um, it's not necessarily about revolving around one person. That's just how it ended up because he played pretty crazy.
That is
Okay.
true. And your top laner was absolutely ridiculous tonight on a whole nother level.
Yeah.
I mean, there was an interaction. I hope you guys get to see it, and it's going to be clipped. It's going to be in the highlights. I'm making that one of the highlights for the Team Gap recap next week. It was crazy. Urgot and Kale and the top side and the perfect, like, 2-second interaction clip for. It was just
With
so
her ult,
beautiful. Yeah, with Kale's
Yeah.
ulti
yeah,
to
that was
save
pretty good.
her. Oh, just so disgusting. So
Yeah,
disgusting.
that
But
was definitely a hype moment for both of those because we're like, oh no, she's dead, and then oh wow, you were bamboozled.
it was It was wild. It was absolutely wild.
Yeah,
But you guys, going in Miami University, that's the
yeah.
real mountain right now for VCL. Undefeated this entire split. Have you guys have gone up against them, right? Who versus them in the
Yep.
last week? Let me double check. But first seed, last seed. I don't know if you guys are gonna verse them in round one, but like thoughts about them. What is your thought process going into playoffs? Because you're gonna verse them eventually.
Well, Monkey Madness actually has a plan to defeat them that she thought of. If you
No,
could talk about
no,
right
I
now.
have no plan at all. Submit would like to take this question.
She's being shy.
Submit, you got this. You got this.
No, they don't want
Tell
to
them
give
your
away
plan.
the
Tell them.
secrets.
What's the big idea?
Yeah, it's not the secrets.
Okay, our plan. The only plan we have, we come in second and third. We get that match. We just snowball the confidence into the last game. We're gonna just assume they're gonna win, and we just went off confidence, practice, everything.
I like
Could
it.
come together.
Yep.
We're only
Confidence
getting
is
better
in.
from here.
Seriously though,
Yeah.
seriously, you guys have shown up every single week here. Like we made a little bit of a mistake, in the team gap recap. You guys were in second place going into this week.
Yep.
I'm sorry, Chrono was, and you guys were just like, do not worry, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take that spot really easily. Great job once again. But I have no other questions. Wookie, any follow ups or anything that you want to go ahead and share with us?
I think that's it for me. You guys played wonderfully, and I mean, if you guys have any shout outs you want to give, now's your chance.
Shout out to our team. We all played really well tonight.
Yep.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm very excited
For
to see you
sure.
guys continue into week number 6 as well. And then, of course, in the playoffs, I definitely expect to see you all there. Congratulations once again to both of you for the first double MVP votes for tonight. So
Yeah.
great job. And for all of you wonderful folks at home, we do have a schedule for this week set up already. Thursday is going to be our PCL Division 1 matchup. As of right now, we have Donkey Punch versus Shrimp Gang. 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is going to be Machakor and Dak, the nice duo there. The best friends that anyone could ever ask for. And then Wookie, this beautiful man here to my side, is going to be hosting that wonderful game. So definitely tune in for that. But once again, I'm your boy Rylionn. Joining me tonight, Wookie, our host slash cast slash. I love you, man. I can never give you enough compliments. I can't, seriously. So
Same to
seriously.
you, bro. Same to you. It's
But you
gonna
all
be a
have a great
wonderful
evening.
hot tub stream.
Oh, yes, in the hot tub stream. How can we forget? Within the next couple of weeks, me and Wookie will be in our bathing suits, giving you all the play-by-play actions as well. So do not miss that. you know, eventually.
All right, catch y'all later.
Peace out, y'all.